In this episode, I usher in the official start of bulking season.
The sun is shining, the birds are chirping, the bacon is sizzling. Welcome to the Daily Swole.
Welcome, everyone, to episode 188 of The Daily Mother Swole. You wanted the biceps on Periscope? Well, you fucking got them. Welcome to episode 188. Those of you that are joining me for the first time, thank you for joining. We are live on Facebook at Swolenormous, live on Periscope at Swolenormous, and of course, you can catch every single episode of The Daily Swole on YouTube at Swolenormous and also on SoundCloud and iTunes. What's going on, Joseph? Sick as hell. No workout today. No. Say it ain't so. America, welcome to the Gun Show. Thank you for joining me on Facebook. Yeah, welcome to the Gun Show. The question is, which one? I really have to be careful when I leave my house. I always make sure I have my ID in case I get pulled over for carrying. I do open carry, especially when I wear a t-shirt. Welcome to the Gun Show. The caffeine is high, the sleep is low, but the energy is there. And it's time to get huge. It's absolutely time to get huge, and let me explain why. Today is the official start of bulking season. I know. Today is the official start of bulking season. Why, you might ask today? Because I woke up and I felt it. I woke up and my left nipple was a little bit extra sensitive and it just felt right. It just felt right. There's something about it. Something about that tickle that told me, little birdie landed on my bicep and told me that today is bulking season. Now, what does bulking mean? Let's get into what bulking means. Let's get into why bulking rules, why you should bulk, whether if you're a female or a male. Let's talk about what really bulking is in terms of importance with fitness and building muscle, how to do it properly, and we'll talk about some questions. We'll have some fun today. It's Thursday, and I'm feeling good. It's nice and cool and brisk outside. Florida is giving one of those weather confusion periods when it goes into winter, when it's really hot one day and the next day it's like, ooh, that's cool and crisp. So it's all up in the air. Every time it goes from summer, fall, and like winter, Mother Nature has this like schizo freak out where it can't tell, should I be cold today or should I kind of like transition? And you just get these random days where, man, it's hot as hell. And then you wake up the next day, you go outside in a t-shirt and shorts, and then you get this like cold breeze. So you get this really, split personality when it comes to weather. Bulking generally means gaining weight. We are going to talk about bulking mostly in terms of building muscle. I mean, gaining weight, never are we going to be like, hey, let's gain some fat today. Let's get absolutely overweight. Let's get absolutely, big, let's just flat that stomach out. No, we're not trying to over bulk. We're trying to gain size. When you are building any kind of mass, you're gaining weight, you need to eat in a caloric surplus. The difference is, what kind of caloric surplus are you consuming? Are you going to gain a lot of fat, or are you going to do something that's a little bit more of like a lean bulk style where you're building muscle mostly putting on minimal amounts of fat? Your body is going to store fat in multiple places. It's going to store fat under the skin, subcutaneous fat. That's going to be a major source of whether or not you're going to be able to see the muscular definition. You are also going to store fat intermuscularly, so between the muscle fibers, in between little fat cells in the muscle tissue, and also fat around the organs, protecting the organs and providing insulation and protection. So there's certain places where you want fat, and there's certain places where you would prefer not to have too much. Dirty bulking versus clean bulking means eating caloric excess. We're talking thousands of calories, hundreds and hundreds and thousands of calories in excess of what you're burning on the daily basis. If you are, let's say, your body is utilizing 2,000 calories a day. Most of you are familiar with the 2,000 calorie standard. We'll just use that number because most people are familiar with that number. Let's say your body is utilizing to repair muscle tissue, to repair just from daily function, to fuel the cells. Your body is consuming 2,000 calories a day for metabolic function. If you consume 3,000, 3,500, 4,000, 4,500, 5,000 calories, anything there or above, when you start going to 3, 4, 5,000 range and plus, it is normally called a dirty bulk. A dirty bulk means you are eating sloppy to gain size. You can gain a lot of size not eating dirty. The problem is to get that many calories, to eat 5,000 calories, to eat 6,000 calories, to eat 7,000 calories. Try doing that eating white rice and chicken breast. Try doing that eating sweet potatoes and broccoli. You are going to be eating all day and never reach that number. I guarantee it, you won't be able to eat that many calories. You're not going to be able to eat 5,000 calories of quality, clean food. It doesn't happen. You're not going to be able to do it. It's way too much for 99% of the population that wants to put on some muscle. A dirty bulk is just an easier way because you can eat more processed carbohydrates and crappier foods and get that caloric excess. That is going to be something that may be more possible for someone who's known as a hard gainer or an ectomorph, someone that has trouble putting on size. If you have trouble putting on muscle and trouble putting on weight, you can be a little bit more lenient with what you're eating in terms of cleanliness of food. If you're someone like myself, I can manipulate my body weight, I can manipulate my body fat percentage, but if I eat sloppy, I will retain more water, I will put on more body fat. My body will react depending on how I'm eating, and most of you are the same way, where your body will put on fat if you're eating crappy foods. So in order to avoid that, you have to do more of what's called a clean bulk. A clean bulk is when you're eating in excess, but you're not eating in expounded excess. You're not eating in excess of excess. You're eating a surplus, but it's controlled. Now, this is going to be, if we're doing the 2,000 calorie number, this could be anywhere between 2,500 and 3,000 calories. The best way I can explain for you, because everyone's activity level is going to be different, everyone's experience could be different, everyone's body is going to have gone through different diets and different levels of exposure to certain shocks and therapies in the past. Everyone's body is different. My recommendation, if you're trying to put on minimal body fat and still gain weight, my recommendation is to start small and slow. That's not what she said. This is the first time when she did not say that. You're going to start small and slow. This is so you can catch things before they get out of control. If you just all of a sudden start eating 5,000 calories, you're going to retain a ton of water. You're going to put on a lot of excess body fat because your body doesn't have time to adjust. That caloric surplus will be too much. Your body will have too much insulin release, too much blood glucose, and your body will be storing a lot more triglycerides and body fat as a result of that sudden caloric surplus. And you don't want that. If you do, that's fine. Then you can just eat whatever you want. And people do that, but you know what? That's one of the reasons why you're probably watching this show, is because people do that too much and you gain too much fat. You don't want that. Start small and slow. Be careful when you increase. If you're keeping all your macronutrient ratios, that's the percentage of your total calories from carbs, fat, and protein. If you are increasing calories, be careful of how much you increase with carbohydrates. If you're the type of person that stores fat pretty easily and gains weight and gains excess body fat easily, be careful how much calories or how many calories you consume extra with carbohydrates. Start bumping up the total calorie surplus in small increments. Keep the extra carbs smaller and raise the protein more and raise the healthy fats a little bit more. Just be careful of the extra carbohydrates, and then if you're able to, after a week or so, and you think, okay, I'm gaining a little bit, but I'm not, putting on too much extra, I can take it up a little bit more, then add another couple hundred calories. If you start small and slow, you're not going to get out of control and lose a lot of definition right off the bat because you are progressing slowly. Very, very important to be very analytical. You're going to have to keep track. If you're going to be very detailed and add 100 calories or 200 calories, you have to be weighing out your food. You have to be very specific and very regular with your consumption. You can't be 200 calories over one day and then under 100 calories and over 500. You have to be consistent. So if you don't know anything about calories, if you don't know anything about counting calories, what you're currently eating, you have to start doing some homework and see what you're actually doing now. You have to see what you're doing now. You can't just say, oh, I'm going to eat a little bit more. I'm going to have another egg. Because you don't know if you're getting enough water. You don't know if you're getting how many carbohydrates you're consuming otherwise. If you don't know what you're doing, you can't change it. I'm going to repeat that because it's super important. If you don't know what you're currently doing, you cannot change what you're doing. Does that make sense? If you don't know what you're doing now, how can you change it? How can you change what you're doing if you don't already know what you're doing? You have to know what you're doing right now in order to either make an improvement and eat more or eat less. If you know you're consuming 2,200, you can eat 2,400. If you don't know what you're eating 2,400 might not be enough. It might be too much. So you need to know what you're doing now. So you have to start breaking it down, weighing your food, get a little scale, get a little calculator, and plug it into your phone. There's some apps out there that can calculate calories. But you have to start seeing what you're doing now and seeing how that affects your body, and then you can manipulate very strategically moving forward. If you're happy with where you are, you're maintaining, and you know what you eat, and you know what your body type is, you can kind of adjust and eyeball it. But if you're a beginner, there's no way you can eyeball. There's no way you can eyeball. It's not safe. Not safe in the sense that you're going to get the exact results you want. If you need results and you need to be specific, then you need to actually know what you're doing now so you can change it. You need to lift heavier. People, you're not going to bulk doing super light weights and 25 repetitions. If you're trying to put on some size, slowly increase your calories like we just talked about, and increase your resistance, increase that external force and that external overload, and start increasing the weight, dropping the repetitions. If you're doing 15 reps, start increasing the weight so you're maxing out, so you're hitting failure around 10 to 12. If you're doing 10 to 12, you can push a little bit more and start going 8 to 10 or 6 to 10, and then do that for a few more weeks before you drop the resistance, go back to like 12, 15 reps and start that stair climb again with the pyramid structure. Start lifting a little bit heavier, add a little bit more volume if you can while lifting heavier if you're experienced. Watch some of my earlier daily swoles. In the past couple of weeks, I've talked about overload. I've talked about lifting heavier. I've talked about lifting more weights. Everyone needs this. And this is women too. If you want to build muscle as a woman, you're still a human being. You still build muscle the same way a dude does. You have to lift heavier. The last part is consistency. It's discipline, it's dedication, it's consistency. If you are not doing this regularly, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday, you get the idea. If you're not doing it every day, it's not going to happen for you. You have to do it every day. You can't bulk for 3 days and then fast for 3 days. The reason why this is a great time for bulking season is because you got Thanksgiving and Christmas, you have holidays. It's actually a good time to be, you know what? I've been dieting and eating clean all year. Let me put on some size, let me up the training, and let me kind of eat like a fat ass. I'm not saying that you want that. I'm not saying that you should do that. I'm just saying that is another reason why this time of year is considered a great time for bulking season, because you got a lot of great food, you got a lot of great vacations, people take time off, people, Thanksgiving is a freaking holiday based around gluttony and eating as much as possible pretty much. So you can, massage your conscience a little bit, sit back and chill out a little bit and enjoy yourself as you start making these changes. So you can take 2 or 3 months or 2 months, whatever it is, maybe 6 to 12 weeks, and start bulking. Start adding a little bit more to your plate and add a little bit more weight to the bar. That way, for the next 2 months, you are using this excess as a tool for your fitness, building muscle, and then you can start cutting again in January or February and start leaning out for the warmer months in summer when you're going to the beach and you want to be shirtless and all that good stuff. If you're trying to lose weight, and you've been struggling losing weight and you're on the roll of weight loss, then shut your mouth, stop eating crap, and stay on point. This is not for everyone. This is not an excuse to eat shit. This is not an excuse to not work out and be a slob. This is just a style of programming. This is a style of programming, and this is appropriate for some of you. For others that are trying to lose weight, still, I want you to lift heavier. You still need to lift heavier so you can build muscle, so you can maintain your muscle mass, so you can keep your metabolic rate high, so you can keep on burning fat as you're losing weight. But those of you that are trying to put on some extra, be careful. If you're a hard gainer, you might be able to have a little bit more leeway with how many calories you consume. But if you are trying to put on size and be a little bit, keep it a little bit tighter, if you know what I'm saying, not lose the whole six pack or not get the big gut, not really completely flatten out, then look for a clean bulk. Absolutely, Jennifer. Self-control. Vegetables and brown rice are easy to portion. Vegetables and brown rice are easy to portion. Vegetables are easy to portion because pretty much they're not worth any calories. Brown rice, yeah, like a cup, you can measure it out. Things like that. Sweet potato is easy. A sweet potato is easy to portion too. You put a little, you put on a scale, you see how heavy it is, and then you look it up and see how many calories are in a sweet potato. So all these things are easy. You just have to take the time to learn it, to do it, and to go through it. Thank you for joining me so much. A couple things before I sign off. Every day, live on Facebook and Periscope at Swolenormous. So go to my Facebook page, Swolenormous, and click live notifications. So if you're following me right now on Facebook Live, make sure you click in the top corner, live notifications, because you're not going to get notified when I go live, because I might go live other times as well. But I'm live every day at 12 noon Eastern time. So if you don't click live notifications, Facebook will not tell you when I go live. So make sure you click that button so you get notified. On Periscope, I think you get automatically notified, or if you have that setting that people that you follow when they go live be notified. So check your settings, make sure you get notified when I go live on Periscope. Every episode is on YouTube, youtube.com/Swolenormous. So find my YouTube channel, click it, like it, subscribe. I have over 600 videos every episode of the Daily Swole, my vlog series, exercise videos, tons of stuff on my YouTube channel. So follow me there, check it out. Also, you can follow me on Instagram and Snapchat. Anytime I do any kind of update, I do any kind of show, I do any kind of live broadcast, I'm always posting nonstop on Snapchat. So if you want updates, you want the latest and more behind the scenes, if you like the Swole Motion vlog series on YouTube, definitely follow me on Snapchat, because that's just more daily videos and behind the scenes of what I'm doing. And last but not least, two more things. SoundCloud and iTunes. Every episode of the Daily Swole is on podcast form. So I got some links on my Facebook page. We can also go to soundcloud.com/Swolenormous. There's an app for iOS and Android, and also, of course, on iTunes. And thank you so much for the support. Thank you for liking and sharing my latest viral video, the Spotlight video on Facebook. That's When People Quit. If you haven't checked it out, those of you that are on Facebook Live right now probably have checked it out. That's When People Quit. It's pinned to the top of my Facebook page. It's gotten like 110 views already. It's gotten hundreds of shares. I really appreciate the support. It's an important message for me, and I appreciate that you are sharing it with those that are close to you. So definitely share to inspire. I'm really looking forward to releasing the next one. I hope you're looking forward to it as well. Thank you for joining me for episode 188 of the Daily Swole. I'll see you tomorrow at 12 noon Eastern time. And as always, I'll stay for a few minutes after if you have any questions. Peace out and enjoy the start of bulking season. Ooh. Peace out. See you tomorrow. Lates.